And hello, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Open Bar for Content Creators podcast. I am Marco Flores from Nerd in the Bay. And if this is your first time listening or watching this podcast, I basically interview and get to know creators out there that are doing some pretty cool things, as we're talking about today. So what we're going to be talking, who we're going to be talking to is Stephen Ross, the creator of Real Anime Training. So from what I understand, what I've been seeing and how I got to know Real Anime Training was like backstory for me. I was just looking for I just googled like anime training because that's like what I'm really into. I like the scenes of people like the heroes of all animes just training and before they get into their power up. And the first hit was Stephen Ross's website, Real Anime Training. I was like, oh cool, let me go check this out. So I see this website. It has a bunch of articles and like blogs about like real Goku workout. I was like, oh yeah, I would love to see what a real Goku workout looks like in transition. So yeah, Stephen Ross has been doing articles like that, doing a post like that about a bunch of like anime characters, and then trying to like show what that kind of looks like in real life. So without further ado, Stephen Ross, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right. I'm glad to be here. I've actually talked to you a lot, like through various means, like Facebook and
Yeah.
Twitter and all that stuff. But I think this is probably the first time that we've actually spoken to each other.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Like Twitter is a great place just to, you know, watch or read some of the stuff that you're posting about, and then just retweeting and just engaging each other, which is pretty cool. And then just we're just getting to know each other, on an internet basis. So that's a pretty
Yeah,
cool
yeah.
thing. Pretty cool thing about social media. So
I think you
yeah,
were actually in one of our videos too.
that's right.
We
Yeah,
had a bunch of people like send in clips of them training, and we put it. I can't remember what video that was,
uh, the
but yeah.
the year of you, I think.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's so many they sort of blend like bleed together, and you get kind
Okay.
of forget after a
Yeah.
while. So yeah, but I mean honestly, I've there's so many content creators, it's hard to keep track of stuff. But
Hmm.
um I do enjoy watching you do gaming stuff,
Hmm.
and very interested in you reaching out and like talking to content creators, because I do see you be that you're very involved in like small YouTuber community
Hmm.
sort of thing, and you promote a lot of that stuff. So I feel like that's kind of become like an integral part of your identity
Yeah.
as a content creator.
I mean, people. There's creators out there that's doing great stuff, but like, how are they gonna know about them if they're not either doing like collaboration work or just we can all be doing our own thing, but like we're not gonna reach maybe many more people if we kind of like coexist or collide or whatever
Yeah,
the
yeah.
term may be. It's just
I think you're right. I think we succeed together.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially with I mean, as of recent, the new YouTube guidelines, and they're still adding stuff to make
Yeah.
it's a little bit more difficult to be quote unquote successful out there, but like it kind of filters out the people that are just uploading like other people's content or just like basically
Yeah.
movies
Yeah.
or that sort of thing, or yeah, so being able to do this, I know I did this in the beginning, like in 2018, and then it was going good, and then I took a break for whatever reason, and then yeah, I wanted to do this again because there are so many great creators out there like you doing real anime training, and it's just fun to just get to know the story because there's always
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know
Yeah. Yeah.
the origin, because I know you have a video series on like origin stories, that it always starts with a concept. So like just this thought in your head of like I kind of want to do something like this, or like there's something in my head or something that I just want to do that you just want to put out and then just see what happens. So
Yeah.
like what was that concept for you, like when you started real anime training, from the website to the YouTube channel to everything that you're doing now? Like what was the concept or what was the origin of that?
The origin of it was me having a lot of nerd friends
Mm.
who were out of shape.
Okay, gotcha.
And I was really the only one who worked out
Mm.
or did anything remotely fitness wise. And so I just wanted to to give them something that might motivate them to get active.
Okay.
And so that's really where the targeting of the initial blog came from, was that I was thinking about writing it for my friends to get in shape.
Okay.
Um, and I've heard a lot of people talk about that in terms of knowing, you don't always know your audience. So when you're first writing something or when you're first targeting something, you want to have somebody specific in mind because that gives you direction.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, because, as some people have said, if your audience is everybody, your audience is nobody.
Yeah. 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 That's true.
Um,
That's true. It's too general, and like you're not hitting a dedicated anything.
yeah. So at the very beginning, I really wasn't concerned about like reaching l- a large number of people.
Okay.
I was just really concerned about like, I want to have something that I can point my friends in the direction to, like, to get in better shape, or be like, hey, check this out, you might enjoy it. Funny part of it is most of them don't care. Um, very, very few of my friends actually even read the original blog or even care about the content now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it was that line of thought was useful in at least the initial stages of creation.
Okay.
Um,
That's funny how that works, because I think about like my story, and yeah, that was kind of like the same thinking of like I just want to talk to people about these things that I'm interested in,
yeah,
and a lot of my friends are like few and far between, and real life happens, people get married and have families
sure,
and
sure.
stuff like that, so it gets harder to be able to like want to talk to these about these certain subjects with them, so like you kind of go out and just see like who's wanting to talk about these things, but like
Mm,
yeah, I totally understand like your end of like just wanting to you know motivate your friends, or like hey, like try these things out, and
yeah.
either it works, either it works like for them, and they're with it, or like oh, okay,
Yeah.
it's maybe not as
And
much.
some of them do ask me questions now as
Hmm.
like a fit professional, but
Yeah.
none of it's related to the content that I make.
It's okay, it's okay. It molds and evolves, that's all, that's what it does,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, that's cool. And then like what'd you think as like when you're starting to make the content, how it progresses to like finding this audience, like what'd you think of that?
Um, Gosh, it was such a long road, and honestly, I feel bad as a content creator. I would probably be a lot more successful if I had been consistent over the years. I would do
Mm-hmm.
things where I would make content for like really hard for like 6 months,
Mm-hmm.
and then I might not do anything for a while,
Okay.
and then I'd come back and I'd make content really hard for like 3 or 4 months,
Okay.
and then and then I wouldn't do anything for a little while. So it was really this like these periods of like explosion
Mm-hmm.
and then calm.
Yeah.
And then during that calm period, I would have all these other experiences that are not related to the content creation. And then I would come back and have all of these things explode again once like
Okay.
critical mass had reached.
Yeah.
So while that was not necessarily so good for my audience and my audience retention,
Mm-hmm.
it was, that's how my creative process was at the time. I didn't really have a good handle on what my creative process was. Um, so I initially started my first post. If you go all the way back to my,
Mm-hmm.
like in the blog to like the very beginning in 2007,
Wow, it's
you
2007.
yeah. So you end up looking at me uh, breaking down. I have some Baki the Grappler
Mm-hmm.
like episode reviews, and I sort of break down some like training concepts
Mm-hmm.
and some philosophical things that go on in those episodes, and then some of my first workouts are like wedged in those things, and I did the
Okay.
same thing for Naruto
Mm.
as well. And so that's why some of my there you'll see some of my older workouts that are listed if you go to the exercise if you go to the workout page and you go to the workout by series and
Mm-hmm.
find different stuff. Some of the very early stuff are workouts that are shoved in the middle of a blog post.
Okay.
Um, and while I got away from that later and I separated and had actual blog posts and then workouts
Mm-hmm.
as different types of things. Initially, I didn't really have an idea of how I wanted that to look, and
Okay.
I didn't have an audience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nope. So it was just sort of like, eh. And then every
Yeah.
now and again somebody would stumble across it.
Hmm.
Very early on, Jordan Jacksblade,
Okay.
like found me. He was one of my early, yeah.
Okay. So, sorry, because there was a lot of
No, you're fine.
there was a lot of dropping on my end. So you were mentioning about fighting Jack's Blade. He stumbled upon you. How did that happen?
So
Uh,
what?
I'm mentioning to the audience right now because there's a lot of dropping happening,
Oh, okay.
and I missed where you were mentioning about meeting Jack's Blade, that he stumbled
Yeah.
upon your content. Like, what was that about again?
Yeah. So when long time ago, when Jordan first found real anime training,
Hmm.
he says that he was a chubby anime fanboy.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Like he would read the workout and then ask me questions about it in the comments because
Hmm.
I don't know, he may have sent me some emails too, but it was very like, there wasn't Twitter or anything like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like, and if there was, it was really minor.
It's
People
wild,
weren't
wild
using it
west
like that.
Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. It's old style stuff.
Yeah.
And so people would ask me comments underneath the individual workouts, and we'd have discussions about it there.
Hmm.
And that was probably the next thing that drove like content creation evolution, was actually communicating with my audience,
Yeah.
as small as it was.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
And so when you started to have an audience, like, did you even think that you would have an audience of some point, like some
No,
form
I
or
didn't think
fashion?
it would. I didn't honestly didn't think it would go anywhere.
Hmm.
And not to say that I'm anywhere now, but but the point is I didn't feel like it would really ever do much of anything. I was just sort of doing it because I, I couldn't help myself. I
Yeah.
needed to do it.
Yeah.
I made workouts all the time anyway,
Hmm.
so why not
Why
put
not
them out?
have it out there?
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure,
exactly.
for
Yeah.
sure, for sure.
Um,
Yeah.
and it's much better than me putting it in a notebook that I'm going to lose in a year and
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
a
And then
half.
have it stored in like in a box, and then somebody
Oh, I
uncovers
have
it.
a notebook problem.
Okay.
So I just have notebooks like spanning back probably some of them to high school
Oh,
years.
wow. Wow. Are you? And is that? I don't. This is a far fetched question, but like, is that something that you maybe think of like writing in a book, like a book about, like like Tao Jeet Kune Do style or something like that?
Yeah, you know what? I don't really know because a lot of it's a bunch of different things. Some
Okay.
of it's workouts, some of it's like thoughts, some of it's like doodling, and some of
Mm.
it's just sort of like, it's a snapshot of me at that time
Okay.
as a person, as a uh, somebody who trains.
Yeah.
I hesitate to say athlete because I wasn't an athlete until later.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. So,
um,
oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, because I was just going to mention because like in the video part of the podcast, where I'm showing clips of like the content that you were doing, and so right now what's airing is Duffy doing his Spartan race. So like just
Oh, okay.
going through the obstacles and stuff. So um, yeah, you transition from like different types of content, and like you were mentioning about putting in workouts in
Yeah,
like these anime posts, and kind of like not like sprinkling them in, but like kind of showing a visual of like what like Baki's doing this, and like this is what he's training, and what is it? What's the result of that? So like
yeah.
that process. What was the evolution of that from the blog post to video? Like what was that looking like?
So I started my first YouTube video was called, I think, A Call to Arms,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just me kind of like saying, "Hey, we're doing this thing,"
Mm-hmm.
and it probably could have been much better, in the sense that I didn't really know anything about anything with video edit. It was just like so
Yeah.
confusing to me, and I didn't just because it wasn't my thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
not what I spent time doing. And so I have a couple of very early YouTube videos. I have Goku's Gravity Room workout,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have the Real Anime Training. I think the warm up is in there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's super early on. And honestly, I wish I'd stayed consistent from that point because I'd probably be huge on YouTube.
Mm.
But instead, I took a very, very long break because reasons. So
Yeah.
basically, what happened is in 2007, I started the blog, started writing stuff. I graduated college in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
I got married in that time period. Um, and then I got my son, who my son is not my biological child,
Mm, okay.
um, but he is my cousin's child,
Okay.
and for reasons I had to take him.
Mm. Okay. Gotcha.
And so from 1 year old on, I had him, and so and it was sort of dropped in my lap. So I was in the process of I had just graduated. I was focusing on content creation. I was fighting. It was
Mm.
like I just started fighting in MMA. And then like all of a sudden I've got this kid. And it's
Yeah.
like, I don't know. Like my priorities shifted really hard.
Yeah. Okay.
And so because of that, and I wouldn't change anything about that because I love my son.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying like that kind of sent me in a different direction for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
And until I got a better handle on everything. He's 12 now, so
Awesome.
he's a lot more self-sufficient.
Yeah.
So it allows me to be able to focus a little bit more on doing that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But,
All right. Cool. That's awesome. Just to hear that life story, and yeah. I mean, there's no like set article formula of like how to succeed in YouTube. Like either you hit gold on like video one and then you keep going, or you just be consistent throughout the whole time and you eventually grow. There's no almost right
I
way.
mean,
Mhm.
the likelihood of you going viral is going to be very, very low.
Yeah.
And so you have to like anything else that you want to be successful at, it has to follow a consistent process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where you refine and get better and whatever
Mm-hmm.
else. Sometimes you get lucky.
Yeah.
Most of the time, not.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, like like we were talking, I was mentioning about the guidelines. Like it's filtering out all these people that just wants to get rich quick because they think it's easy. It's literally not easy. Like if you're hoping to make money like off the bat and making this your main job, like you would have to be successful in that first, and then okay, I can make a living out of it. That's not how this content creation game is, unless
It's
you started
extremely difficult to make a living at it.
yeah, unless you started right in the beginning and then maybe you found something and then just kept plugging away at it, then yeah, maybe sure, then you'd be where people want to be at. But now, like at this point, now it's a lot of filtering out, and we're all just doing what we can before they start changing more guidelines and all that stuff. But like we have our little spots and to do what we can and stuff like that. But yeah, so as we're talking about like just the content creation and transitioning to video, like I was looking back at a lot of the older stuff and seeing some of the workouts you were doing, seeing some of the just what's the word, kind of like motivational speaking. I see you delving into that sort of thing. Yeah, like you were having not moments, but like not phases either, because like you're just because as a creator you kind of want to do the video you want to do. It doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm just training videos or I'm just motivational videos, that sort of thing. Like
you don't want to get pigeonholed into something. It's like when people got mad at Team 4-Star for being like, okay, we're doing other stuff now.
Yeah, like
it's like whatever.
Yeah, they're human beings. They have like all of us. We have this creativity that we want to do, and as much as YouTube and maybe these audiences are like these standard creators want to like, oh, you got it to be just this one thing and just do that for the rest of your channel life. And like I keep saying I would go nuts doing the one thing, and maybe I'd be more successful if I just stick to one thing, but that's not how real life works. We're all multifaceted in that sense.
Sure.
So like
and I think
oh, go ahead.
I think there's a balance.
Yeah.
Because if you're just all over the place and nobody knows what to expect from you, there's no reason for them to subscribe.
Sure.
But if you've got like a base, like, okay, we know, like for instance, real anime training workouts
Mm-hmm.
like are my base, and then other things are like sprinkled in sort of like as seasoning.
Yeah.
So it's
Okay.
like you get a video and it's going to have content, but it maybe not a real anime training video.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, my real anime training videos are probably some of the more successful things that I do, but they're, you know, do.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Uh, yeah. I mean, it's yeah. I would yeah. Okay, I would agree with you. Just it's finding whatever that the trying to find the like the pot of like just putting all these ingredients in and then just making something that's direct and like uh focused in that sense, and you know,
You
like
gotta find your style.
style, like it's your thing, you know. As long as there's not too out of the the woodwork, like it's making me think of, I don't know if you ever watched Friends, where I think let's see, Rachel was making, I think, like some sort of bakery, and it added meat pies and all that stuff. Like that doesn't belong in the sweet thing, but yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And it's like you have the layers of different stuff, and one of
yeah,
them's jam, and it's like one
yeah,
of them's meat. And
yeah, and peas, you
it's
know.
like, nope,
No,
I don't think so.
it tastes like feet, you know, that sort of thing. But yeah, so like as we're, you know, talking about, you know, this the process of creating, like um so what so yeah, you do a lot of different types of videos, like I was mentioning, like the motivational, some of the training, some of the what the anime application of it does, and do you feel like you found your, I guess, your momentum, your pace of like, okay, I'll do this type of video, this type of video, this type of video, or you're still trying to find yourself as
No,
you?
I think now I've I've kind of found where I want to be.
Okay.
I've got where I talk about my own training and like what I want to say as a as a fitness professional to
Mm-hmm.
people, and I call that sensei journey.
Yeah.
And so those videos are kind of just like vlogging type things where I talk about stuff. Sometimes it's training, sometimes it's life stuff,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's whatever. And so, you know, it's a it's more free form,
Mm-hmm.
and I edit those so they're not as good a quality. Um,
It's all right,
but
man. It's okay.
they're more personal.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you and I are sitting down and just having a conversation rather than this big production.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and so that kind of fills that niche of well, that need for me of that kind of video.
Okay.
And so, and then we've got these larger productions that are the real anime training videos that are very, very intensely edited.
Mm.
That are, you know, there's a lot of work that goes into them. They don't come out as frequently, so
Yeah.
like, but there's a lot to it.
Mm.
And then every now and again, we'll do topical videos, like I did and some of those are high edited, and some of them are not high edited.
Mm.
But I did a breakdown of Goku's fighting style in Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon
Yeah.
Ball
Yeah.
Super.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really awesome, and people really seem to like that.
Yeah.
I'm currently working on the Vegeta one, and it's giving Duffy PTSD because the editing process for those other 3 videos for Goku
Mhm.
was so intensive.
Oh man. I can guess, I can understand, I can see that, because there's so much of Goku, and you know, whether you're talking about kid Goku, maybe teenager Goku,
Yeah.
you know, and you're thinking about like, you know, pre Super Saiyan form Goku, like that sort of thing. Like, yeah.
And you've got to when you're watching the fights, I've got them slowed down to
Mhm.
like 25% speed.
You're watching slow-mos.
Every single
Yeah.
movement, going, what is he doing? Okay,
What's
all right,
the
his hand placement's
intention?
here?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Oh
like,
wow.
and some of that stuff's rough. I don't know if you go back and watch the fight between Vegeta and Captain Ginyu.
Okay.
He puts on a clinic
Mm.
on Captain Ginyu.
Okay.
He throws more different kinds of techniques in that fight than I have ever seen in probably any Dragon Ball fight. There's so many things
Okay.
going on in that fight.
I gotta look back
It's
at that.
ridiculous.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
but you have to slow it down because it's moving really,
They're
really
going they're
fast.
going fast, and yeah, and they're being animated in like certain frames. So like, yeah, you do have to slow
Yeah,
it
and it's
down.
not like the normal Dragon Ball stuff where you have like three techniques and it's on a
Mm-hmm.
loop.
Mm-hmm.
The Ginyu fight, for whatever reason, they let Vegeta beat his ass.
Jeez. Okay, gotcha. All right, yeah, I'm gonna go take a look at that, because the concept of breaking down Goku, or a Dragon Ball fighter style
Yeah.
is a very interesting concept, because like, yeah, because I did
Because you
like,
think, oh, they're all the same.
no, they're not.
No, they're
Yeah.
not. They fight differently.
Yeah, I did like search up, like, okay, like what type of martial arts do you think Goku does, and there's topics about it on Reddit, and whatever forum posts and stuff, but to be able to break that down and to do a video on that, that's great. That's I mean, that shows like a care, and like, there's I'm pretty I mean, I would want to look at a video. I would want to watch a video like that, like, okay, maybe kind of understand a little bit, like the mindset of what Goku's doing,
Yeah.
or Vegeta or whatever, like,
And
as you're mentioning about Vegeta's fighting style, like, yeah, I'm seeing a lot of knees and elbows, like, as a general sense, but not like in a specific fight sense. But like with
yeah.
Goku, it's more.
Well, what's wild is that I don't know if you've seen that series. Did you watch that series?
I've
You
yet
did?
I didn't I haven't watched the actual. I saw like one your Goku fighting style, but not the others.
Okay, so yeah, it's just that I just have the one. It's just
Okay.
Goku, right?
Okay.
So the original Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and Super. So it's the whole thing.
Okay.
And so if you watch it from beginning to end, you see there's like a definitive evolution
Mm-hmm.
of the style back from Mount Paozu
Mm-hmm.
to the end, to Broly. If you look at it, you can see that he definitely learns and evolves as he
Mm-hmm.
goes. He's
Mm-hmm.
not just stronger.
Yeah.
Um, he gets more he gets more skilled in general,
Mm-hmm.
and you can start to see, like, especially in this is something that you notice if you've ever watched. I'm sure people love this fight. Super Saiyan 2 Goku versus Super Saiyan 2 Majin Vegeta.
Mm.
There's so many knees and elbows
Yeah.
and shin kicks that go
Yeah.
into that fight. Like, it's this there's so much Muay Thai that happens in that fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, but what's crazy about it is both of them are fighting very similarly,
Mm-hmm.
but if you watch both of the characters' evolutions, they got to that fighting style in different paths,
Right. Yeah.
which is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because,
Like, they came to.
yeah. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, yeah, I mean, with Vegeta, it's kind of always been there with the elbows and the knees, but with Goku, like, yeah, I could see like that was like an evolution, because Goku, from I'm thinking on a more general perspective, but it was a lot of more. It was more kung fu-y, I would say, in a
Yeah.
sense, it was
Yeah,
more
yeah,
kung
yeah.
fu in that sense, or
Like,
maybe
style kung fu.
maybe
Some
Sancho, that sort of thing, Kung Lee, style.
like his the only elbow that Goku threw forever was like a side elbow,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this. Yeah, that, his classic side elbow
Mhm.
there. And that's a very karate kung fu elbow. I think in karate this is in piuchi
Okay.
is that elbow. I don't know any of the Chinese names for stuff, but like especially that where he leaps and he's got that long reach
Yeah.
of that elbow, like that's straight kung fu.
Mm.
But so that's where Goku's style starts is very, very kung fu like, and then he starts to develop from there, and he like, but Vegeta on the other hand starts from a very Western style of martial arts.
Yeah.
He's just straight up boxing, like
Mhm.
right out the gate,
Because
like,
he would just fist up like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and you can see in the first fight with him and Goku, he's dunking on Goku
Yeah,
because
he
Goku
is.
doesn't know what a guard is.
Yeah, or bob and weave. Yeah, yeah. So
But anyway,
yeah. But I yeah, I'm gonna continue to watch that series in general, because I am generally interested in like what the styles are coming into the character style. Like with Piccolo, I mean, he has nails, so of course there's gonna be a lot more scratching in that sense.
and I think in at least in Piccolo's like sense of his style, it's harder to pin down because he's not human. He
Yeah.
doesn't have human capability. Like
Yeah.
obviously the Saiyans are not human, but they function like humans.
Hmm.
You know, Bruce Lee said we have two hands and 2 feet, and
Yeah.
so there's only so many different ways we can fight. But when your arms can reach out, 30 feet and then wrap around somebody like a snake,
Exactly.
it's a little bit different.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, yeah. Yeah. My, for me as a fan of that of the channel, I would say as much as it goes, you guys go nuts about editing and finding the right clip and implementing it. Like, yeah, just do a lot more of those because I do
Okay,
enjoy that. I do enjoy that
cool.
aspect.
Yes,
I,
working on Vegeta right now, and then probably going to take a break and do Baki.
cool. Yeah, there you go. That's the next season. Is the next season already out now, or
Coming
is it
out
about?
real soon.
I mean,
Like
yeah,
real.
and that's something that yeah, that's something as creators we have to think about too. Like if we're doing something that's coming out, then you may want to do like a series. Like I'm not saying for you, but like you may
Yeah,
want to do a series that leads up to like okay the release of the new season. It's like because everybody's on a Baki high right now, and then maybe they want
yeah.
to look for stuff. Like you as a creator, you want to look out for things like that.
You obviously watched that, like you've read and watched Baki, correct?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, I thought you had. I just didn't want to assume.
No, no, no. I am. I'm at. Where am I at? I'm at Musashi.
Okay,
It's not spoiler, but like, yeah, that's the latest. That's the latest enemy, right? I mean, no, not the latest, but like where I'm at is the latest enemy for me.
gotcha. Okay,
Uh,
so the uh, the one that just came out with the prisoners, the
yeah,
most dangerous
yeah,
prisoner arc, whatever that is.
yeah.
Uh, I have one workout for one of Sikorsky. I
Okay.
have his prison climb workout. So
Oh, okay.
it's progressing to the point where you can do like one
One
finger
finger
like climbing and
and
stuff.
hang on there. Yeah.
So that's the whole workout. It's just building to that point.
Okay.
And actually just wrote a spec workout.
Mm.
So the guy who fought Hanayama,
Yeah.
it's the apnea rush training.
Okay. Okay.
And I did that because one of my longtime readers requested it. So I was like,
Nice.
yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, to be able to take requests like that, like that's awesome, and to be able to have an engaging community that that kind of feeds into your the output of making content. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And sometimes, like for my longtime readers that I'm friends with,
Yeah,
like I'll, if somebody asks me for something, sometimes I'll just do it.
yeah,
But other than that, it's like, okay, I'll put it in the list and I'll get to it. If you want it right away, then pay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because I've taken specific programs and
Mm-hmm.
characters and stuff that I wasn't ever gonna do,
Mm-hmm.
or because I had never even thought of it,
Yeah,
or it was so far down on my list, who knows when I would get to it.
yeah. I mean, and this is as like you're a professional, like coach, trainer. I used to like, when I was teaching at martial arts, they would often say like, I mean, don't teach everything for free, you know. You provide a service, so like you let them know what the fee is, in that
Yeah.
sense. So like if you guys want like the good stuff, then yeah, it becomes it's going to be behind like being able to
Oh yeah, and I don't think anybody, at least in my respect, can complain. I give a lot of stuff away for free.
yeah
I have a lot of free stuff,
Yeah.
so like,
you know?
I don't think it's unreasonable to to accept commissions for stuff. And honestly, I think that's just the same for any kind of content creator,
Mhm.
especially like, I'm very much pay for your art.
Yeah,
If
of course.
you want art from somebody, don't just be like, hey, can you do this? If you
Mhm.
want it, pay for it.
Yeah, yeah, support the artist. That definitely
Exactly.
for sure. Yeah. So as we're continuing to talk about this, so like in terms of you kind of mentioned about inconsistency throughout your creative process, and I mean to be able to say like you're unable to make content because these things, and it's hard to be able to even announce like, oh, I'm going to take a break, and know
Yeah.
that you're going to be able to take a break, and then like just let them know like, hey, I'm going to take a break because I'm not able to make content, and like again, things, life happens, that sort of thing. But like in terms of
Yeah.
struggles, if there's any other thing, like any other type of struggles that you've gone through in terms of making content, whether that's beyond the consistency or just like I have nothing right now, and I'm burnt out or that sort of thing. Like, any type of
So
struggles in that end?
being burnout has never been a problem.
Okay.
I've always had something that I could like pull from to be able to make the content.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it wasn't ever like I have writer's block or I have a creative block or anything like that, or I just don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's for me, it's always been an issue of there's something that is quote more important that needs to
Okay.
be done.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a priority issue. And some of that was misplaced priorities
Okay.
because I used to, for a very long time, I had a very poor sense of self.
Mm.
And so I would always put myself absolutely last. And so if
Gotcha.
anything
Okay.
else needed to be done that was, you know, relationship based or
Mm.
responsibility for taking care of things or on the, that came first.
Okay.
And I would sacrifice everything else before I would touch anything that was related to something that I wanted to do.
Okay. Gotcha.
And so a lot of my hiatus times come from things like that, feeling guilty for wanting to do something
Mm-hmm.
for myself.
I mean,
And that's just poor mindset.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And like I'm 1,000,000% better like now
Back then.
than
Yeah.
I was back then. I don't have that problem anymore. It's just an understanding of loving yourself, accepting
Mm.
yourself,
Yeah.
and also just understanding you know your actual place in the world, because there's this odd, excuse me,
No, you're good.
there's this odd sense of ego that
Mm.
is involved with people who hate themselves and put themselves super low and treat themselves like they're not any good.
Mm.
um, it's very odd because it's like, oh, you think there shouldn't be any ego involved in that, but there absolutely is, because
Yeah.
you start to think like, oh, well, the universe is out to get me, or I'm
Mm.
I'm special but in the bad way, or
Mm. Mm.
it's just me. And it's like, no, you're just another human being.
Yeah.
You're just somebody else in the sea of like 7 or 8 billion people that we have on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
Breathe
Yeah.
and chill.
Yeah.
Everything's cool.
You're just a speck of dust,
you,
basically.
you have thoughts, wants,
Mhm.
needs, and desires and dreams, just like every other person on this planet.
Mm.
And they're not any more or less valuable than any of those other thoughts, dreams, or anything else, because you're the only person that experiences the life that you are currently experiencing.
Yeah.
Nobody else has to experience the life that you have. So why be sad? Why be angry? Why be anxious? Why feel all that stuff? And I understand that there are like chemical things that sometimes people can't
Sure.
get around.
Yeah.
But a lot of our own prisons are self-made.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I totally agree with that. Yeah. Yeah. It becomes a pity party. It becomes like, oh, it becomes all about me, and it's not to say that you have the right to be able to project that to other people. Like, dude, just take care of yourself. It's fine whether you're either not making content or you're dealing with everyday life stuff. Like, we're dealing with a pandemic right now, and as at the time of this recording, like, it's bad out there right now with the protesting. I've couldn't.
There's like 2020 is just rolling that dice
Yeah,
every day.
like what's next for June? Is it? It's
Well, no, we know what's coming up. We just had those monkeys escape with the
oh,
corona.
right, with
like,
the coronavirus.
so-
Yeah, like, is beer is gonna come out? And like, he's ready to go, or that sort of thing, right? But yeah, it's nuts. Like, yeah, for me in struggles, it's mainly more burnout, because like I'm thinking, I have all these ideas and I wanna do them all, and
Yeah.
it's just, that's just the thing. It's like I want to do
No,
them all. Yeah, I want to do them all, and I want them out there right now, sort of thing. But it's not like,
We're not very patient.
no, we're not. We're just not
We're
patient
not.
about it, and especially,
That you got to be patient.
yeah, especially because
Good.
like you were saying that like editing and all that stuff like wasn't your forte. It's not mine either, but like both of us had to learn it because like we have these ideas, and we I mean if we have the money, sure we can pay somebody to put this out or whatever, but like if you want these ideas out, like you may have to like learn some things, because
Yeah,
to be able to grow.
and
And
that's good. That's good. You
yeah,
need to,
yeah,
because if you want something bad enough, you'll learn it.
yeah, yeah, so
And for myself, for a long time, I guess I didn't want it bad
mm,
enough.
okay,
I said I wanted it, but did I really? If
yeah,
I wanted it, I would have done
yeah, yeah.
it.
You almost can't. Yeah, I mean, like we hear the saying like if you want it bad enough, like it's almost sort of motivating, but almost all at the same time, it's like wow, kind of you are kind of consumed by it. But it's like almost like you can't breathe or think or just function without the thing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
almost
yeah, yeah.
it's almost an idol. It is almost an idol, and like that's a teeter, like that's not a
Yeah, I
sketchy
mean that's
situation.
difficult. That's difficult for people who are like, that was one of the things in my thing too, is like
Mm.
putting it as like, am I elevating it as above God, like as a believer?
Yeah,
Am I making it more important
yeah,
than God?
yeah.
And it's like, that's difficult to be able to reconcile that, and it's just one of those things where you have to just be like, you know what, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna work,
Hmm.
and at the same time I'm gonna be like, if it's too much, let me know.
and you will get he'll let you know. Like just chill. You're like okay, then just trust. Oh man, but
Because you can't set up roadblocks for yourself, because there's going to be so many roadblocks that are not put up by you, that
exactly.
don't do it to yourself.
Exactly. Oh man, yeah, definitely having encountered that in life. I'm pretty sure you have to, as you were just mentioning. Oh man. So to transition, you like as you go through you're doing your thing and making content, getting to connect with people and all that stuff. Like you guys have been doing like not conventions. I mean, I guess you guys went around some
Yeah, we've been to
conventions.
conventions.
Yeah, yeah, and then getting to meet some of your audience and fans and stuff like that. Like, how cool is that to be able to do that? And
Okay, so I had never been to a convention before, because I am famously cheap and I don't like to pay for things.
hey,
And so it makes me feel like a bad. I don't like to pay for things, but so I went to my first convention. It was MomoCon in
mm-hmm.
Atlanta, Georgia,
Yeah,
and that was the first time that I actually met Jordan face to face, which was
okay,
pretty cool.
that's cool.
And then, like I said, while I was there, if one person, I said this to Duffy, I said, if one person walks up to me and says, "Hey, you're that guy,"
Hmm.
I'll say, this trip was a win.
Yeah,
15,
yeah.
15 minutes later, that happens.
Oh, that's
Some
awesome.
guy walking past me, he goes, "Oh, you're the anime trainer," and I went,
Yeah.
"Yes."
Yes, I am. Don't mind the big sign I have on my back. That yeah.
So, and that was pretty cool, just because it was like, it was really unexpected. I
Yeah.
really didn't expect for it to happen at all.
That's cool.
And it's not like it happens all the time or anything, but it was cool to have it happen one time. And it was at the first convention that I went to.
That's cool.
And then I went to KamehaCon 2.
Oh right, yeah. The Dragon Ball. Yeah.
And then I did a panel with Jordan about like training like Goku and whatnot.
Yeah. And, yeah. What does
Um,
that consist of? Like, I'm curious.
yeah, you can actually watch the whole thing on the
Oh,
channel.
okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. We have it recorded.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I'll definitely
if
will.
you want to check that out, cause we talked a lot about it, a bunch of different stuff. Jordan had a slide deck that he went through, and we both sort of commented on it and made conversation about it, and then we took questions from the
That's cool. That's cool. Did you have like some sort of like
Specific, really specific things about their training.
mm,
There's a good problem to solve
mm,
instead of just being like, well, how can I be in shape? Well, that's a
that's a that's a broad question. Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to remember because I did see like, did you have something that had to do with like punching and gauging, that you guys did on a panel? Like, either you were, it was, yeah, I don't know. It was like you would think it was like you and Duffy, or maybe you, Duffy, and Jax, and it was like,
wait, what?
so it's just a foggy memory, but like I remember you posting about like, yeah, you guys did this panel, and there was I think it was like a punching contest or something like that, or
Oh yeah, that was in there. That was that was at MomoCon.
okay,
There was a thing that was like the World Martial Arts Tournament thing,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it
yeah,
was a punching contest.
that's
But anyway,
cool.
I'm gonna send you the actual link for the Jax Blade panel from
Okay,
Kamea.
for sure.
Um, so I just sent that to you.
I definitely will watch that.
But yeah, it's pretty long. I think it's an hour long.
Okay, cool, cool. And what was the punching thing about? Just for
Oh, it
funsies
was
or just?
well, it was part of like some other person's panel that they put on.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
And so like the first part was the punching contest to eliminate, down to like 6
Mm-hmm.
or so people, and then from there was like a screaming contest and some other stuff. I got
Nice.
eliminated in the punching thing, which,
Oh,
but by the way, I'm not sure exactly how that
how the
really
gauge
measured.
was? Yeah.
Yeah, because it was this little like velocity measure thing
Okay.
uh in a wristband.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And so I feel like it was more about like just the speed of the punch rather than
yeah,
the impact of the punch.
yeah.
Because I know I hit that pad super hard.
Yeah. It'd be cool if it was there. I don't know. I'm not sure if it was there, but like how like I guess in arcades or like carnival type settings, but like they had that punching bag to gauge like
Yeah.
your quote unquote power. If it had that there, I think you guys would have like an accurate way to
Yeah,
gauge
that would
a
have been.
punching power.
But I
Like,
mean, it was
yeah,
still a cool thing.
that's still cool though. That's still cool. Yeah. Ever since I saw that like that post and you guys doing that, I was like, oh man, I gotta meet you guys because like same thinking. Like I love to watch anime and train about and do the trainings, if possible. Like I gotta meet you guys and just chop it up and that sort of thing. So like
Hey, man,
once.
did hold on just a second. Did actually I'm headed to California in August.
Oh, are you okay?
Yeah. Gonna be in like. My brain is not letting me remember
It's
where
all
I'm
right.
gonna be. It's okay, but so yeah, if anybody in California like wants to hang out or something like that, I might be able to make that happen because we're gonna be there for like a week.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, we'll talk after this then. And then
Okay, cool.
yeah, definitely. Cool. So as we're winding down, what for anybody that's just thinking about making content, maybe thinking about kind of doing the same thing, like in this sense, like anime training, or just revolves like martial arts and anime. I mean, I was thinking about, I have like an idea of some sort of like of something like that of a dojo thing, but like I gotta
Yeah.
just think about that and let it sit for a minute. Anybody for any type of advice that you would give for creators out there that maybe want to do this thing or just whatever they want to do, but like what sort of advice would you give them that you stumbled
Okay.
upon in your journey?
Make content about what you know.
Mm.
Don't try to make content about things that you think are popular.
Yeah.
Make content about things that you know and things that you like.
Yeah.
Because if you try to BS your way into it, it's going to fall flat.
That's good.
You need to be genuine, and you need to be able to speak about that subject matter as an expert of sorts.
That's really good. That's really good. Yeah, because people want to. I mean, the people that are not really into it with with the creating. They just want to do the popular thing and get all the views and get the money and then go, or that sort of thing. So like you definitely.
Yeah, because it's a different mindset. Because if someone is just like, oh, I want to do this for money, it's like the money's not going to come.
Yeah.
If you want to do the creation for the creation, you're more likely to end up in a position where it could actually make you money.
Yeah.
Because you're concerned with the quality of the product. You're concerned with the amount of effort that you do each of the videos. I mean, like there's so much that goes into it, and if you don't love what you're doing, you're not going to be able to put the appropriate amount of attention into it. It's just you're not going to be able to, because we can fake it for a little while. We can like grow. Oh God, I hate this so much.
But get this one video out of the way, and then
But to do it over and over and over, and to get knocked down, and to have nobody see the video that you worked really hard on, and to have all that stuff happen, and to still make another video, that's not going to come from, man, I want to make money doing YouTube. That's going to come from you loving what you do, and that is.
100% agree. That's what that's what my thinking was when I was making videos. Like, if somebody watches it, that's amazing. Because like, why would you want to watch me? I'm just kind of almost kind of pulling it out of my ass. But like, there's some sort of like love there that like I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna try. And
it's like when people are like, oh wow, this is amazing, you're blah blah blah, and like they heap praise them. If there's parts of me that are like, you don't know me.
You don't know what I go through. It's so tough.
I mean, like, I'm super glad that this is helpful to you, and I'm super glad that you enjoyed it, but it's like, I am not the like way up here. But at the same time, you have those people that watch your video and they're like, you're trash. And so it's like it keeps you humble.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, dude, I had this guy come on one of my videos, and claim that I had literally copied
you posted
this
about
guy
this.
from from Europe somewhere.
Yeah.
And I was like, I had never even heard of this person before. And it's like, dude, I have no idea who this is. And he's like, oh yeah, likely story. And I'm like, whatever.
Okay.
He happened. Yeah, he's pretty popular, and he's got a good, handle on stuff. It's one of those things where it doesn't matter whether or not you were, first, or you had a good idea or anything like that. It's more about like who's more popular.
Yeah.
And it's like if somebody has like a diehard fan, it doesn't matter. They're the best thing in the whole world.
Yeah.
It's like they'll go to like any length to like die on a hill for that.
Their
person.
stand. Yeah, their stand.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I learned that word of like about like 6 months ago.
When that guy who came at you.
At first, I was like, "That's a stand." And then it's like, okay, I kind of get an idea. But now it's like, okay, no, that's a good word. Standing. Yeah. That's a good word.
Oh man. Yeah.
There's so many things that happen on the internet that make me feel old.
Yeah. No, I get. For sure. I'm very much I'm turning 38 this year. And I'm like, I'm starting to feel that.
Oh, you said you're 38?
Yeah.
No,
No. I'm turning 38 this year in June.
That's insane. I totally thought you were younger than that. If I had to guess, I would have said 26.
Oh, hey, I'll take that. I would love to be that, but I'll take that assumption any day.
I just turned 34.
Awesome. That's awesome, dude. Cool. Yeah. I lost my train of thought.
If you couldn't tell from the the grays.
Showing grays. Oh man. Yeah. So as we wind down, where can people find you? Like on the video end, I have your Twitter, your social media, at Real Anime Training. But where can people find you in terms of like want to watch the videos, or where they can see your blog posts? Like where can they find you?
Trainer on YouTube.
Okay.
And it's at Anime Trainer on Twitter as well. And then you can find Real Anime Training as the Facebook page. We've got that there. And then you can find realanimetraining.com. The site is back up.
Awesome. You were saying for how long?
long, we don't know.
You don't know.
It's up for
It's the site watch right now. You know.
yeah.
Oh man, awesome. Thank you, Stephen, for doing this and being able to talk shop and about just creating content, and hopefully we can meet up at a con once everything is all lifted and we can go on with our lives.
Yeah, I would
you know?
like that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I want to be added into those push-up segments that I was like seeing you guys
man.
like, dang, I want to do that. Shoot.
Yeah, that was at KamehaCon.
Yeah.
And it was just sort of like, well, I was in the process of a challenge where I was doing like 1,000 body weight reps a day.
Wow.
And so I was like, I wanted to get video of me doing push-ups with other people. So I got there's me and Derek Padula doing push-ups, and then Jax is in a bunch of those shots.
Awesome.
And then the guys from Just Saying, and then some cosplayer who was as dressed as 17 was doing freaking freehand handstand push-ups in the background in one of the videos.
Nice.
And I was like, gee.
Don't show me
like
up.
the rest of us do it. Like, yeah, we're doing one-arm push-ups, and people are saying we're showing off, but no, the guy that's showing off is that guy.
Stand push-ups. That's awesome. That's awesome, dude. Yeah. We'd love to just meet with you guys and be able to just talk shop and do some training. You know,
cool.
We'd love to do that. We'd love to do a training video with you and yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that somewhere down the line.
Yeah, if we ever get the chance to hang out, let's do some sort of training video.
Yeah, of course. I am totally down. Cool. And you can find me at Nerd in the Bay is the channel, Twitter, and then as well as the YouTube channel, Facebook as well, and Instagram. I have yet to try to push Instagram, but like it's there.
Yeah, I have one, but I don't really care about it.
Yeah, you only I feel like you can push 2 at best. The third one is always iffy. So yeah, Facebook and Twitter are my go-tos. But yeah, Nerd in the Bay YouTube channel. We're doing a variety of videos. You can go from video game let's plays to discussing anime topics, or what's coming up. I want to do another one, but like implementing anime clips is very, very sketchy. As Steven is like a
oh yeah
as a well experienced in that end. But yeah, I want to do like more anime discussions. Doing martial arts like training videos. Like I always have this idea of like what you're doing, kind of like what this technique transitioning in real life would be. So yeah, we just do like a variety of
whatever you want.
Yeah,
make whatever you want. That's the biggest thing that I have to say about any content creator. No matter what, if you draw, if you write, if you make videos, if you act, whatever, do whatever you want, because you gotta love what you do. Period. First off, and when you do what you want to do, more passion's going to come out of it. It's going to be better.
That's it. So yeah, we do a variety of videos evolving around the nerdy culture. So go ahead and check it out. And we'll see you next time on the next episode of the Open Bar for Content Creators podcast. Steven, thank you once again. Really appreciate you. And we'll see you next time for the next episode. So take care, guys. Peace.